Hello. I decided to talk in the car today. I really want to touch on this topic about starting your own online boutique business from home. I've done it, so I know you can too. If you've been like scrolling on Instagram and TikTok wondering like, man, I would love to start my own boutique business, but I don't have the business experience, I don't have the knowledge, the website, the followers, this video is for you. Even if you're starting from scratch, you can definitely start your own online boutique business from home. It is definitely possible. You don't need a fancy website. You don't need to focus on the logo, but it's good to have a logo. We're going to talk about that later on in this video. All you need is your creativity, your consistency, and a plan. So grab your notebook, grab a pen, grab you something to drink, and maybe a little snacky snack, and let's get started. If this video relates to you, go ahead and click that like button, share the video, comment below what type of business you plan on starting, and hit that subscribe button. So before you start selling clothes or jewelry, shoes, or whatever item that you plan on selling on your website, online, as your boutique, what is your why? Like, what is the reason behind you selling these particular items? You want to know your why because that is what's going to hold you as you go through the many phases of business ownership, of entrepreneur. Your why is literally the foundation holding you when you are making one or two sales throughout the whole week, or you're feeling that imposter syndrome or that fear of launching this particular product, and so forth and so forth. It's more so like you want to have your 10 toes. That's your 10 toes. Your why is your 10 toes. Like, regardless of what happens, regardless of, another, God forbid, an epidemic, or when money is short, you will always come back to your why. As in, I'm selling this because I want people to feel my vibe. I want people to hear my story, my style. I want them to see my style. And then you're going to ask yourself, what kind of lifestyle do you want to create within your brand, that you want other people to feel within your brand? And then you want to figure out who you're selling to, man or woman or both. How will they wear your items? How would your items make them feel? Write it down. Once you have that clarity is literally like your guide to then creating the messaging, your brand messaging, your unique value proposition, and so forth and so forth. So next we're going to talk about your niche. Your niche is literally what your style and your audience will be focused on. That is your bread and butter. Having a niche, it is so important. It is your bread and butter for your business. So, for instance, think about it like, do you want your boutique to sell fashion, trendy, affordable options or items for your audience, for your everyday woman or man? Do you want to focus on minimalist, everyday wear for professionals? Do you want to focus on, let's say, plus size, faith-based loungewear for women? So you really should just look on Pinterest. That is like one of my favorite platforms. It is a search-based platform. This is why it's so important to look on Pinterest, not only to market, but to look for ideas. In the search bar, type in boutique hauls. Look on there and scroll. Take your time to figure out what your brand, what your boutique could be focused on. So you're going to go on Canva. You do not need to pay for an account, but if you already have a paid account, cool. If you do not, Canva is completely free to sign up. Go on Canva, select 3 to 4 colors, select a few fonts. You don't need a whole bunch of fonts. Remember, simple sells. You want to remain simple, clean, and memorable, okay? You want people to remember your brand. You want people to remember what it is that you stand for. Select those colors and those fonts and create a logo. You don't need $500 to create a logo. You don't need to buy a $500 logo either. The whole point of creating a boutique, a brand, a business is to excuse me, is that you want people to know your voice. You want people to know that your messaging matters too. How do you want to sound online? You want to know that the stronger the connection, the better the buyer. But in order for you to have a connection, you have to just be you. Be you. Don't worry about what they say online or how many steps you need to take. No, just be you. Be authentic. People buy from other people, not business. Now, here's the other fun part. This is the part where it actually takes time. I'm an ex-perfectionist. I'm saying that it takes time, but it could be different for you. I get it. Do what works for you. But what I'm going to say is that you can go two routes when it comes to selecting your merchandise, your items. You can either do wholesale or you can do the Printify, print-on-demand version. Both are really, really good options, but you want to select one. Start with one. You can do both, of course, but start with one and then venture out to whatever route that you want to go on. So for instance, for me, I did the wholesale route. I curated a collection for example, like necklaces. This was a part of my collection. I actually still wear my collection. Of course I do. But what I'm saying is that curate a series of items into a collection. Necklace collection, you want to start off with a ring collection, bracelets and so forth. You don't want to just pick 50 random items. That was my mistake. You want to see what works because I'm not sure who was funding this, but for me, I was funding this. So my mistake was going all over the place to see what works and what doesn't work. I spent a lot of money, but I don't regret it. I learned, and here I am teaching you what not to do. The mistakes and lessons I've learned along the way in regards to looking for vendors. And that's another thing. When you're doing the wholesale route, vendors are so important. You want to take your time in seeping through the masses. You have a lot of vendors out there from here to China, but you want to test them out. And I did a whole lot of testing in regards to jewelry. I had to see what worked. I had to see what was faulty. I had to look through. It is a lot of work. You want to make sure you're presenting quality. You don't want to just, oh, this is cute on picture, and then not look at the merchandise when it arrives in your mailbox, and then you just hand it over to the customer. That is poor quality. That's not being a good business, woman or man. Go through the vendors. I have a list of trusted vendors that I was using for my jewelry brand. I used to sell jewelry. I have a list of vendors, and excuse the mess in the background. It's construction going on. What am I saying? Go through the vendors. I don't know if I should curate a vendors list, but let me know in the comments below if you want me to curate a vendors list for jewelry or for whichever that you're selling within your business. And you want communication. You want them to communicate well. You want good quality. You want to see the reviews. You want to make sure that where you're spending your money, the time that it takes for them to receive your purchase, and the quality and the time it takes for them to ship to you. You want to make sure you're noting all of that down. This isn't just some like, oh, this is cute online. Don't be fooled by what's online. It may look cute online, but they may send you something that will turn your skin green. Okay? You want to take your time on this. And then if you're going to print on demand route, create your own designs. You want to make sure you stand out. If you need to hire a designer on Fiverr or Upwork, there's plenty of them out there. But you want to keep as much money to yourself. You want the margin to be pretty high. So take some time, look through, what is this website that I was using? I used, Oh gosh, what is the name of this website? Goodness, I'm sorry. I'm gonna bring the website in the description once I figure out what is the name of this website. Oh my goodness, where they have um designs. Oh my goodness, this is at the top of my, oh, I forgot. Anyways, create your own designs and then you ship it, but it's not actually you shipping it. You're actually shipping, the items are actually coming from another factory elsewhere. So that's what I like about print on demand. But wholesaling is where it is. I wanted the wholesale route because I wanted to add my own design to the boxes, to the, my own branding, to the shipping material and the boxes and so forth. I wanted that whole aesthetic feel. So that's why I went the wholesale route. Presentation sells. I can write this in big bold letters. It sells. It sells. The way you take photos, that's your marketing right there. You don't even have to talk on camera. The way you present your items on camera sells for you. How you upload it onto your listing, whether you're selling it on Etsy or on your own website, it matters. The styling, the packaging, as I mentioned before, it matters. This is why I went through the wholesale. It was so fun. I enjoyed it, and I would definitely do it again. Once you have your items, you are now ready to upload them onto a website. This is pretty important because you want to make sure that not only do you have a website, but a website that can run smoothly and effectively on phone, since most people are operating from their phone. Most of your viewers, most of your transactions, conversions will happen on a phone. So you want to make sure the websites that you're on, such as Wix, that's a good website. Shopify I've used before. I've had many Shopify stores. Shopify is great for e-commerce. Or if you're going on Etsy, if you're doing the Etsy route, print on demand is great for Etsy. They have a great integration with that. So does Shopify. But any of those platforms, you want to make sure that your website includes a clean homepage. The tabs are visual. It is not too much. It's not overloading to where it's taking too much time. People's attention span are about 3 to 5 seconds. Then they're changing their mind and then they're scrolling on to something else. You want to make sure that your homepage is clean with a story and a mission. Why are you selling this product? Why should they care? The next thing is that you want to make sure that you have high quality photos. A simple white background would suffice. Clean, crisp, not too much going on in the product fit photo. You want to make sure that you have different angles. If you have different variations in your product, different color sizes or whatnot, you want to make sure that it is listed clean and simply. And then you want an easy checkout. That's very important, especially if you obviously want the money. So you want to make sure the checkout process is simple, straight to the point, and easy to get to. And then lastly, and definitely not least, you want to list your policies. Remember, these are coming from either out of state, out of your state, or out of country. So you want to make sure that you have some policies in state. I mean, in order, so that it not only mentions your shipping and your returns, but it mentions the delays, the what ifs, and mentions, you want to pretty much state the FAQs as a part of your policy. You want to make sure that you're answering questions so that they feel comfortable in purchasing from you. And here's a little trick. Use keywords in your product photos and your descriptions so that Google and YouTube can capture you, so that people can find you on Google, such as trendy online boutique or affordable style. You want to make sure that those are in your descriptions, in your picture descriptions, and your descriptions of your website, so that your website and your items can be found on Google. Now, when it comes to marketing your products, marketing your brand, your business, your boutique, you want to be consistent. It's not It's not about going viral. It's about being consistent. Just be consistent. Each post you upload, each reel or video that you upload, it is your lottery ticket. You just never know. So you don't want to focus on going viral. You just want to be consistent so that you are seen, so that people know that you exist. They want to know that you are consistent in your business, that this is a real business. So we're going to start creating content that tells a story, that showcases your product. For example, behind the scenes, that is a favorite. My jewelry business took off once I started showing the behind the scenes. It's not even about being perfect or aesthetically pleasing. They want to know what is going on, how do you do this, and you'll be surprised at how many people are willing to support a real person behind the scenes. For some reason, that just increases the chances of you going viral. You will get a lot of messages once you show the behind the scenes of your business. The next one would be outfit try-ons. If you are selling clothing or even shoes or even jewelry, there were some videos I've posted where I would just try on bracelets, and I received so many questions, and it's real simple. We tend to overthink things because it is our baby, it is our business. But what I learned, that simple sells, simplicity sells. And another thing is to share relatable stories about why you started your business. People want to know. It is crazy, but people want to know why you started this business. They want to support you at that. And then also soft marketing is what I like to call it, showcasing your lifestyle. So let me see you wear your outfits or wear your products when you're going to the store, or let me see your friends, or let me see other people wear your products. I want to see how it looks on them, so I know that, oh yeah, that will look good on me as well. So yeah, focus on building trust in the community, not just chasing sales. And when I say that will build you sustainably, it will. It will. My business took off once I became authentic and started including me in my business. I know it's weird to say, but when you're operating business, you often want to step out of the picture. But when you step in and say, hey, this is who I am, you'll be surprised at how in tuned people are and how supportive they are. And remember, every boutique owner you see started with one follower. I started with one follower, one sale. I started in my living room, in my mother's living room, I started there, and it just branched off, and I'm so proud of the work that I put in. So yeah, keep showing up. Okay, so this is huge. You don't need to have everything perfect when you're first launching your product or your brand or your business. You want to make sure that the foundation is in place, and that's all that matters. Once you launch, even if you had 0 views or 1 sale, that is a start. Don't kick yourself because you're comparing yourself to someone's chapter 30. They're selling thousands in a week. You're not there yet. But in order for you to get there, you have to start here. Launch your products. Talk about it, share it. Remember, you are still fairly new to this thing, so you want to talk about it. Don't be shy. Remember, I like to tell my students this, that you're blessing their timeline. Serve, even if it's jewelry, serve your jewelry, serve your outfits. People need to see, oh look, sell the outfit, this looks good on you because it just is. Talk about how it makes you feel, because most likely that person feels the same way whenever they put that on. The moment that you believe in your vision, others will do as well. Okay, so don't worry about the sales. You just have to worry about your consistency. Don't worry about this stage. Launch the products. Even if you get 2 likes, let it be the 2 likes. Celebrate yourself. There are many people out there that would love to start a business and they haven't, but you did. So celebrate where you are and continue pushing, keep posting, keep sharing. There are people watching. Soon those people watching will turn into your customers, your loyal customers. If this video helped you at all, if it helped you in terms of like you found new ways to start your business, if you are serious about starting a business, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, because there is more to come about this. I need to just let it all out. That's the goal of this channel. This is what I'm doing on this channel. If it relates to you in any way, comment below saying I'm starting my boutique, I'm starting my business. Comment that below and snag my free resource. If you would like a vendor resource, let me know. Let me know. It's time to start our businesses. No more shrinking. No more playing small. We're done with that. Oh, and another thing, your time is valid. Your timing is divine. Your business does not have to be stressful. Let your business be a flow, ease, and profit.